All right. I'm not quite sure if we're live yet. So, okay, we are live now. So, good morning, everybody. I am looking at the camera, or I'm sorry, the monitor above me just to double check comments. But I would love for everyone to say hi if you're here. And Yolanda, um, let's see if this is working. Can you hear me, Yolanda?
Yes, I can. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
perfect. I can. I just couldn't for a second. So I got worried about Facebook doing the Facebook things. Okay. So while we're getting started, Yolanda, I'm gonna Palo Santo all the technology things like I like to do, and then some of the people that are joining. So while I'm doing that, if you wouldn't mind taking a second just to introduce who you are, what you do, all of that good stuff. Tell us a little bit about you.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to be here. I have my phone pulled up so that I can see comments as well because we know Facebook is crazy. And so
Mhm.
I am a sales and business coach. I use human design and sales psychology. I have a background in sales in order to help my clients make more money. But I am here to talk about my amazing experience with my Reiki session with you.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna say hi to some people. Hey, Angie. I just saw Angie. Okay, you guys, there's this gnat that has been here for days because we garden inside and we just always get gnats and it drives me absolutely bananas. It's like making its appearances. But hi, Angie. I just saw her in person and I was like, I've got to skedaddle. I've got a 10 o'clock live. So good morning, Angie, again. And hi, Nancy. So Yolanda, I'm thinking where we can start off is how did you know, I guess, that you wanted to do Reiki, or how did you know that you needed energy work done?
Yeah, so I am a very busy person. I have a lot of clients and I have a lot of energy connecting in with my energy. And if anybody knows anything about human design, I think they do because they're in your group. I'm an undefined solar plexus, which means I absorb and amplify people's emotions. And so I get regular Reiki healings. I don't want to say like, every month or so. It's like when I know that things start feeling heavy, when I know that things start feeling like, what is going on here? And so I've had several Reiki sessions from numerous different people. I just like testing out other people's methods. And so I was like, okay, I need a Reiki healing right now because things are just feeling heavy. They're feeling tough. They're feeling like, I'm not myself. And so I remember reaching out to you and saying, hey, I need a session. Give me a session right now. And
That is
yeah,
not how she said it.
I didn't. I feel like I
No.
did. Like internally, I did. But I
So, yeah, go
remember
ahead.
you sent me the link and I instantly was like, okay, I'm paying. And I got like, you only had availability for one day that week. And I knew I needed to get in right away. And so I like rearranged my schedule, made that happen. And I was like, let's go.
Taking responsibility. My son, my older son, he's 10. So we're learning a lot about taking responsibility for your own actions right now. So I want to honor that for a second. Now, my next question for you is during the Reiki. So I think most of y'all know inside the group, good morning, Holly, that I changed my distance healing sessions recently to be live over Zoom. So they're much more similar to like the in-person sessions. It's a lot of live channeling. So, with that being said, Yolanda, I would love to know some of your experiences during the Reiki session as well. It's kind of hard to like lay down tangibles in something like Reiki. A lot of people are very curious and wanting to know of other people's experiences.
Yeah. So I think it's important to say that I am also Reiki certified myself. I'm a Reiki master myself. And here's the thing, I always feel like when it comes to stuff like that, you have to hire someone else in order to get the best fit, right? So if I am in a state where I'm feeling like heavy energy, I don't think that I'm the best person to perform Reiki on myself because the energy
Yeah.
matters. I think that's what I feel like most people need to understand is the energy and the intention behind it matters more than anything. So during the session, I do Reiki in a very different way. So I channel a lot of stuff. Since a very young age, I've seen things, heard things, experienced things. And so during my Reiki sessions, it's almost like messages just dropping through. And I have never had someone else do Reiki the way that I do until I had Reiki with you, which for me was the most transformational experience, because when you're just laying there and you know that somebody's working on you, but I feel like your mind goes to, is this doing anything? Is this working? But the way that you do Reiki, the same way that I do Reiki, you were letting me know as you were going through each chakra, hey, this is what I'm picking up. Hey, this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm feeling. And it was just insane to me, because it was the same things that I was going through in my life currently. And then it was also the same things that I was picking up on and channeling in the session as well, as you moved through each chakra. So I feel like if people have not experienced Reiki, the normal way that most people do it probably wouldn't seem as transformational, but it was validation of everything that I was going through, and the fact that you knew it without knowing it, right? Like you knew what I was going through without me telling you, hey, Nichole, this is what I'm experiencing. Because I remember when you opened the session, you said, hey, what do you want to do? And I was like, I just want to clear blocks. Like, I was very vague, and I always do that intentionally, because I want to see what that person is picking up on. So for
Mm.
me, that was like the biggest transformation of like, oh my gosh, yes, she's feeling the same things that I'm feeling. Okay, this is legit.
Yeah, the brain is so funny. For those of you that don't know, I work with Yolanda often as like me being her client, actually. So we discuss the brain and the subconscious ad nauseum. It's actually not ad nauseum because we both really love it. It's fascinating to us. But I do always start out with that question because I am a person that loves to control what I can control. So I know that during most energy healing sessions, people, including me, even sometimes like during a new massage technique or something that I'm doing new for the first time, I'm like, what's coming next? What's happening? Your brain just like goes into that what's happening around me kind of stage. So when I can get people in the beginning to like set some type of intention or tell me what's going on, then they feel like they can control what they can control, right? And then we can go from there. And it's so funny because most people actually do end up saying exactly what you said, or they'll say something like my highest and best good, or my favorite is when people will have an intention and then we go completely like 180 in the other direction. Good morning, Lynn. Oh, and then Nancy said I've been so disappointed not having it done my way. What do you mean, Nancy? Oh, like when you're receiving Reiki, Nancy, not having it done like in a channeling way? Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So Yolanda, I would also love to ask you, like, I guess during the session, like what it actually felt like physically, because I feel like you've given us some really good tangibles, emotionally. Did you feel anything physical?
Yeah. So I felt a huge release in the sense of there was just this like this, it's hard to describe. There was this tense energy that I stepped into the session with, and then it was just like I was just relaxing, dropping guard, surrendering to the process. And it was almost like, I guess you can say almost like goosebumps from, again, just from the release, the surrender, but also the fact that, again, you were channeling the same thing that I was channeling as you were moving through my body.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool too about your session, and this happens often, is that we not only were healing things that are coming up in your life in this lifetime, but also a past life. And then I am also really interested and obsessed with generational healing. I can't remember that book. You've probably read it, but it's all about how we've proven that our brain and our DNA are altered by the experiences of our parents and our grandparents. So we have a choice to make that a very empowering thing to heal for ourselves, for our past family members, for our future family members. So it's really interesting to like dig in and start doing that energy work to see what's coming up to be cleared. And I also wanted to say, the past life that we worked on with you, you had already done some healing work. And I think for me, what comes up is that like I'll heal some past lives, but then something comes up in my current life that it's like a trigger where it's an invitation for me to heal that life at a deeper level because I'm like deeper into the onion at that point. So I can heal at a deeper core, more soul level. And that's really what we worked on in your session was getting deep down in there and refreshing your energy.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't remember everything that came up because there was so much that we worked through. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in epigenetics. 7 years prior is, what we're still rooted with DNA wise. And even scientists, so let me just elaborate on epigenetics a little bit because I know your audience probably geeks out on the same stuff just the same way that we do. Epigenetics is where trauma and energy and emotions get trapped into your DNA molecules. And then it begins to shift over time. And so whatever your ancestors have gone through is the same thing that you're now feeling. You're encoding and you're operating in the fight or flight zone in response to their traumas. And so, your brain is always looking for what's the risk. And so that's really important to help clear that. There was also something, scientists have also recently discovered that I believe it's 8 months prior to a woman getting pregnant, that once there's a fetus inside of the womb, that fetus feels all of the energy from 8 months prior, which just goes to show, energy first starts in the quantum realm, and then it then passes down into time, into the 3D. And so for 8 months prior to that birth, prior to that fetus even being, thought of, it's feeling all of the impact of that, so yeah, this is why, like, I personally run a business, but I understand that energetics has so much to do with it.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like, I want to bring it back to like how empowering that is because we have that choice to be able to be a part of healing that for ourselves and for the past and for the future. And I also wanted to also acknowledge and agree that I always have my own energy work done because I am similar to you, although I have a defined solar plexus, so I have my own emotional roller coasters, which you know about because I tell you about them all the time. But it's a lot to process. I'm also a mom who has three young kids. I have an ex-husband. I have a husband who's in the Navy. So like I'm carrying a lot from my clients, from my family. And so to be able to surrender and let that go in energetic healing so I can clear some of that trauma up really helps me to feel lighter and brighter and like brighter because today's summer solstice. So today is all about honoring that brightness inside of you and shining that light, letting your soul shine and come through. So I feel like that's really where the energetics can come into play here. I'm about ready to wrap up with you, Yolanda, but I have one more question that I know for sure I wanted to ask you. What was your outcome from the session?
This is the most phenomenal thing yet. Okay, I feel like I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't give like some insight and some background into this. So, as the title says, yes, so we had our session like late afternoon, and I felt this like huge release in my body. And I remember telling you, I just feel so calm. And I just remember like I just wanted to like lay on the couch, just relax. And for most people, when you're running a business, you have so many things that you're juggling. And so I was just like, I'm not doing anything for the rest of the day, and I'm just going to relax. And the very next morning, I'm not even kidding, like I had never heard from these women before. The very next morning, I had 2 DMs from women who listen to my podcast, who have never interacted with me before, who have never commented on anything, liked anything. I didn't know they existed. Message me and say, I have to work with you. What's your package? I gave them the information, and that was 2 sales that valued $27,000 cash. So, I mean, obviously that's incredible. What I want to say about this being so important, I don't believe in coincidences. I don't believe that things just randomly happen. I believe it's a synchronicity, right? So I knew that something was blocked in my energy. I knew that something felt heavy. And once that was released, it's like the floodgates then opened and said, okay, my energy is now available to take on more clients. Because again, I was feeling kind of run down, you know? So
Hmm.
I practice with a lot of plant medicine. I sit with plant medicine all the time. Ayahuasca is my favorite. So anytime I sit with ayahuasca, it's like this huge release and this shedding. And it's almost like I go into this hermit mode, this cocoon where it's like I'm not doing anything, I'm not showing up. But then I always have like a huge month, like immediately after. I've had Reiki sessions where I've cleared my energy and then started making sales, but not to this extent. So this was so so healing, so energetically clearing that I know, again, I know this was not a coincidence that, we opened up the floodgates and all of a sudden the sales came in. And that's why me as a business coach, I teach on the strategy and the energetics all the time. Like I can give somebody the strategy all day long, but if you're not in the right headspace, if your energy is not in the right space, like people feel that even though they're not consciously aware of it, but they feel it. They feel it deeply and then they run the other way. It's just like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of rambling. I'm sorry guys, but I just feel like I
Oh,
have
I
to
love it.
it's like when you go to buy furniture or a car and the salesman comes up to you, if he's frantic and in a state of, I've got to make a sale, you're running the other way because you can feel that, right? Like, it's like,
Hmm.
what about this? Versus the salesperson that comes up to you and is like, is there something I can help you with? Oh, okay, sure, great. Like look around and then, call me if you need me, or call me if you find anything. Like that's grounded energy. And so I knew with this clearing that I was more grounded and in the space that I needed to be in. And I do want to say this because I talked about this in my Facebook group last week as well, because people don't understand how deep the energetics go. I had a cacao ceremony and I told everybody, get ceremonial cacao. And the reason I said ceremonial cacao was because it was very important, the intention and the energy that the cacao was not only grown in, but also prepared with. So I gave everybody a specific link of where to buy their cacao. And then one woman, I also did say, if you cannot get ceremonial cacao, yes, you can go to your local grocery store and you can pick up the cacao there. So after the ceremony, I opened up a sharing circle where everybody could share, what was coming up for them during the ceremony. And so many people had visions. They had visions of themselves, visions of their future, visions of colors, of things going on around them. And after the ceremony, I had one woman message me and she said, Yolanda, I didn't buy the ceremonial cacao. I went to the grocery store. And she goes, I didn't have the same experience that everybody else had. And she goes, do you think that that made a difference? And I said, it makes a world of a difference, which is why I don't buy my spiritual products from Amazon, because it's not intentionally created. It's not intentionally
Hmm.
packaged. It's not
Yeah.
intentionally sent to me. There's such a big difference.
What's funny is that I actually sell a lot of I always call them woo-woo products because they're crystals, they're essential oils, they're crystal jewelry, and I buy them wholesale from a Reiki master who makes them. So she's a Holy Fire Reiki master, and then she ships them to me, obviously. So then I re-Reiki them. So, like, I 100% believe in the energetics behind that because all of these objects around us are absorbing and amplifying energy. So, why not make that object extremely high vibrational and allow you to have that in place in your environment so that when you're going through these shedding processes, like it sounds like what you were talking about, and all my people in here know that I did that cacao ceremony with you and that I've been microdosing. The plant medicine has 100% allowed me to like open up, shed, and really just let go of that dense, heavy energy that sometimes I didn't even honestly know I was holding on to, which is why I like working with other energy healers because they can point it out to me. Sometimes I'm blind to it, right? But having those little things in place in my environment, I feel like truly makes a difference so that I feel supported in those moments to truly just surrender and let go.
Yeah, and I also want to add that that is why I chose you to do my energy healing, because I felt a very grounded energy and that you would hold space in that intention. I have to be really careful. I don't want to say this like, first of all, I think everybody has to be really careful with their energy, right? Like, and who you let in. As a little girl, I was raised with my grandmother, always talking to me about the ojo. And, I'm Mexican, so that's big for us. It's basically energy, the same thing. So, but also, I run a very large business. It brings in a lot of money, and I need to make sure that whoever I'm putting my energy in front of has the best intentions for me, that there's no scarcity, that there's no lack coming from this person, that there's no jealousy coming from this person. Like, I have to be extremely intentional with who I hire. And again, like, that's why I reached out to you and I was like, oh, Nichole's my person.
Ah, yes, 100%. I love seeing women succeed, and I think everybody probably that knows me knows that by now. It's been ingrained in me since I was a wee little girl. My mom crawled her way up the corporate ladder and became super close to like the top. It used to be Wachovia. And so seeing her go through those transitions with men and even women trying to claw her down, like I just knew there was no way that I could ever allow that to be a part of my energy space because I saw what it did to her and I saw what it did to those other women, you know? So coming from a space of what she did of holding space and her true authenticity was really helpful for me to see the right way of doing that and to be able to embody that for myself in my business, embody that as a mother, embody that as a wife, as a friend, as a healer, all the things.
And I also want to add that I don't normally hire my clients. So, that's another thing, is like, I'm very careful. Not that I don't want to support my clients, but I don't normally hire my clients because I don't want to intermingle things and get things, confusing and stuff like that. So usually when I'm hiring somebody, it's just somebody that, I have met or found that does the work. So again, I just feel like that's a big, that's my big testimonial. That's a
Yeah.
big investment.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. That means the world to me. Okay, so before I say a quick, super exciting announcement, oh, good morning, Carrie. Do you have anything else you wanted to wrap up with before I give a super fun surprise announcement, Yolanda?
I think the only thing that I would suggest to people is, I always say this: if whether you have a business, whether it's stuff coming up in your love life, whether it's stuff coming up in your health journey, you cannot out hustle, you cannot out action a lack of energy. You cannot out hustle bad energy. So if you're feeling like, this is what I tell people: if you're feeling like, oh, if I just had more motivation, oh, if I just, could do this, if I could just get past this, that's not something that you can hustle past. That's an energetic reset and a subconscious belief that you need to reprogram. So my suggestion would definitely be, reach out to Nichole. Even if, here's the thing, even if you hire her, don't hire her, reach out to her and talk to her about the things that are coming up for you, because I guarantee there's a deeper reason as to why those things feel heavy and why those things feel like you can't stay on track, or like, you think you lack motivation, or you think that something's wrong and there's not. It's just an energetic block.
100%. I often have clients that come to me expressing that, and what it really ends up being is that while they truly deeply desire being heard and seen, they're also the most terrified of being heard and seen because there's a huge fear of rejection that is in the subconscious that we can work to clear. And that's a huge thing that comes up for women that we're not even aware of because like, we want this thing, but we don't know what it is exactly that's standing in our way. Adair says you're speaking to my heart. And hi, Kelly. Good morning.
Yes, Adair, I'm telling you, again, even as a business coach, like these are the things that I work with my clients. I always tell people when they're coming to me, they're coming to me for the strategy, they're coming to me for the sales, they're coming to me for the marketing. And while those things definitely have a key role in that, I cannot get somebody making money who has bad or misaligned, I don't want to say bad energy, misaligned energy. So guys, if this is speaking to you, again, like I highly encourage you. I get nothing out of this. I truly don't. So this is just me
You
sharing my,
skipped your gym workout or you did work out, I don't remember.
yeah, I'm actually going to my workout right after this, but like this is me speaking to you from my heart, just sharing with you, this work will change your life. And it's hard for people to believe in. I think it's very much like Wi-Fi. You know, the Wi-Fi is there, you can't see it, you know, but like that's Reiki. And that's the same thing. Like the planets, I want you to think of this. So when we have a full moon, police actually report that they have the most incidents on a full moon, right? And everybody's like, oh, full moon energy. Why is that? Because if you think of the full moon, it affects the tides of the ocean. The tide actually changes in the ocean. And that's because the gravitational pull, the magnetic pull, the energetics that the planets have on who we are. So if we believe that the energetics is changing of the planet, like what about the energetics of us connecting with other people throughout the day, even through email, even through text? Like we're still connecting a cord, an energetic cord to people. And sometimes those people, not intentionally, but if they have heavy energy and we're connected to them in some way, like that energy has to be cleared because it doesn't just go away. Ah,
Yes,
Adair, I love it. Okay,
100%.
I digress. I will let you do your surprise announcement.
Look, you're all good. They also know that I totally go on tangents, so that definitely must be like our MG defined growth energy right there. So the surprise announcement is I'm so glad that you all are here live. I've got two spots left right now. So what's happening is a lot of you have been DMing me and saying, I really want to work with you, but I'm just not there financially yet. So I've made two spots. I've restructured this a little bit. I've made two spots so that we can dive deeply into everything that Yolanda and I have been talking about. So anything that's coming up for you right now, if you've been shaking your head yes and you're finding this relatable, then I'd invite you to have a chat with me. Let's see what we can do and work together and what we can clear for you so that you can make more money in your business. Some of you are business owners. Quite a bit of you are. I'm looking at the comments. And we can really break through those subconscious beliefs so that you feel comfortable and safe in being heard and seen. Whether that means you're feeling comfortable and safe being heard and seen in your business or in your career or in your motherhood, in your marriage or as a mother, whatever the case may be for you, DM me because I've only got those two spots left and I would love to get going. So, yeah, Yolanda, do you have anything else that you wanted to say before you hop off and go to the gym?
I don't. Thank you for having me. And I just want to say to your community, guys, you better snatch those spots up because I'm telling you, it's going to change everything.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Yolanda, you are welcome to go to your workout. Ladies, I'm going to stay on here and do Reiki. So comment Reiki if you'd like some Reiki. Yolanda, thank you. I love you. All right, let me get my teddy. So Holly is coming over today, guys. Hopefully she can fix my sweet little teddy. Adair, you're saying I'm having a huge flat getting started. Getting started with what? Your business or getting started with what? Also, guys, I'm gonna put on my fan because I'm sweating. Always turn it off, as you know, when I'm live because it's so loud and I'm dying. So I'm sorry for the extra white noise. My hair is adding 15,000 degrees though. Okay. So Adair, I'm gonna circle back to your question. Okay, yes, your business. Okay, so Adair, like I said, I'm looking up top because I'm reading your comments. I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Len, I meant to say good morning to you. I saw your comment. Okay. Adair, a lot of the energy that I'm feeling is heavy in you right now is in your solar plexus, your heart, and your throat. Hold on now. Okay, I was like, I know I had Palo Santo. I am gonna Palo Santo you, my love. And I'm also asking for the Reiki to go ahead and start sending to you, Adair, to those three chakras. What I really want you to focus on is what it feels like to feel safe in your body. Because a lot of times when we're energetically blocked like this, it's because we're not feeling safe in being heard and seen. We're not feeling safe in our value. We're not feeling safe in our worth when it comes to our business. So being able to have that feeling again of safety in your body, that's what I want you to focus on. So if you need to do some deep breathing, what I've been doing lately is some breathing exercises, which I'll do in just a second. It's probably going to be a little loud since this is recorded on Zoom, so I'm just going to warn you, but go ahead and take a deep breath. Everybody can do this. Place your hand on your heart and your stomach. Take a deep breath in, and I want you to sigh loudly out. Now, the next time that you do this, what I want you to do is vibrate through your throat. So it's a little awkward when I say that, right? But what you're gonna say is basically vroom. It's like vroom almost, but without the M. Okay. So let's take a big deep breath in together, and then we're gonna do the vroom. And let that exhale last for a while. You want to feel that vibration throughout your entire. Okay. All right. Now let's do it for real. Ready? Hand on heart, hand on your stomach, on your solar plexus. All right, and breathing in. And now breathing out. Sometimes after that, I just gotta shake it out. Ugh. Okay, like shaking your whole body gets out so much energy. And not Angie, Adair. They're also now sending Reiki to your root chakra. So Adair, you know my favorite grounding exercise is to go outside and stomp 10 times and then put my hands on my belly and do some deep breathing. Go ahead and do that after the live and really try to, when you're stomping on the ground, I know you're going to be barefoot because you're always barefoot. I love that, Holly. Holly, since you're commenting, remember, you got to fix little Teddy. He needs you to sew him back up. Adair, when you're stomping on the ground, or anybody, when you're stomping on the ground and you're barefoot and you're doing a grounding exercise, I want you to imagine that everything that you're feeling that's heavy and dense that you know that you don't know is going into the earth. You're pounding it into the earth. You're a toddler and you're having a tantrum. And then she is taking that energy and she's transmuting it. Okay. So after you do that, put your hands on your stomach and breathe deeply. Feel your stomach like a balloon because what you're doing is you're discharging all that energy into the earth. She's transmuting it for you. And then you're bringing in fresh energy from the spirit world and you are cleansing your body. You are bringing in fresh energy from the earth and cleansing your body. Okay. So, Adair, those are the four chakras that came up for you, my love. Message me if you're interested in taking one of those spots. It does include human design. I know that you're interested in doing human design, so it's human design and it's Reiki. So let me know. Send me a PM. DM. Why does nobody say PM anymore? It's always DM. Breathing deeply and crying. My safety was shattered this week. Ugh, Adair, I so feel that, honey. Right now, I haven't looked up the astrology, but energetically, it feels like there are a lot of rock bottoms happening, or like, the tarot word would be the tower crumbling, so that we can rebuild and actually match our authenticity. When I say match our authenticity, I mean align with our soul. So anything that's not in our highest good, that's not in our soul alignment, is falling away right now. And that really does feel like we are not safe anymore because comfortable is safe. Uncomfortable doesn't feel safe. So I'm sending you lots of love. Send me a message or a text. I love that you had to shake after that too, Holly. And again, thank you for bringing a showing stuff. Okay, let me scroll up and see who is next. Okay, Sharon. Hello, my beautiful soul. How's your headache from the other day, Sharon? Are you feeling better? So, what is this? My right side. The right side of your body feels a little heavy. So that's the masculine side. Going to use some selenite to cleanse that part of your body, Sharon. And along with the Reiki, I'm going to send the element of fire just to help release some of that that's heavy and dense that's in your energetic field. Okay, Sharon? Okay, I'm so glad that your headache is better. You're very welcome, Adair. So I'm also raking your third eye, Sharon, and helping to just really disperse that energy and let it go. Are you working today, Sharon, or can you take a bath? I hope that you can take a bath and get in some relaxation time. Okay. Sharon, I'm going to use my bell. I apologize if this is loud. It's hard to tell when I'm outside. Okay. All right. It just needed some type of like vibrational energy to get in there and disperse that energy that was left hanging around in your third eye on that right side, Sharon. Yay, you're off today. That makes me so happy. Okay. You're all good, Sharon. Carrie, my love, good morning. We are going into your throat chakra, Carrie. So what they're showing me is the color blue, which is of course is the throat chakra. So sometimes when those messages come through, I think you know by now, like when the color is showing me like a dull color, like usually I see the throat chakra is the color of the sky, like that beautiful sky blue. So it's a little bit less vibrant than that. So I'm sending that sky blue color there along with the Reiki and using some selenite here. It feels like it's a cloudy day in your throat, like it is here in Florida. I don't know if it's cloudy where you are, but it is there. Hmm. Okay, Carrie, you've got some homework, my love. I think I've told you to do chanting before, yeah? Do some chanting. And what I want you to focus on is the words Sat Nam, like Satnam, Sat Nam. What you're going to do is you're going to chant for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. And I want you to really breathe and bring in that energy from your crown down out through your throat. Okay. And what I mean by that, I can't remember if you're a visualizer or what type of energy, what type of intuitive you are, but feel, see, sense that energy. Know that energy is coming in through your crown as you're breathing. And then as you're chanting Sat Nam, send out any energetic blockages that are in your throat. You do not need to know what those energetic blockages are. It's just important that you're doing this, okay? That is your homework, my love. And Sat Nam is helpful because it helps to call in your soul truth. So that will help to release some of those blockages. All right, Angie, my love, I am working on you now. So we're going to your root chakra, Angie. Well, I need some water. Okay. We're going to your root chakra, Angie. And Angie, you're obviously a Reiki master, so I know that you're going to know I'm using the cleansing symbol. So, like, there's a lot of spiral action going on in your root chakra. And the spiral was more of like an energetic drain. So, I put the power symbol in there instead to help that spiral release and to help that energetic drainage close up and become healthy again. So I'm also going to use a grounding symbol, Raku, and then Karuna Reiki. So I'm going to send in that psychic protection and shielding symbol as well. Okay. You should also do some stomping, Angie. I love your multitasking, Holly. Okay, Kelly, I'm gonna go for you next. You're next in line, my dear. My sweet Kelly. I love your sweet horse posts all the time. They make me so happy. Okay, so we're going to your heart, and your guides are, um, okay, sorry, I had to find the crystal. Your guides are asking me to infuse your heart with some citrine to help bring in more joy. It feels like this is something maybe that you've been concentrating on lately, or maybe you're working on bringing in more joy, I guess, now that I say it. But the citrine is going to help bring in some bright, sunny joy into that area for you. Because, like, what I keep seeing you do right now is like putting in some sun energy in the heart chakra, and then it goes up through your throat, right? And it, like into your head, so you can express that joy through your eyes and through your mouth. Like I've never said that before, but you know what I mean, right? Like it's just that like innate, happy, joyful energy. And it wants to come up through your heart. So I think that the citrine and then that joy infusion is going to help clear some things on its way up and out. Interesting little clearing there. I've never done that before. That's why I love these light Reikis. You never know what's going to come up, you know? Okay. You're all good, Kelly. Kelly. Lynn, moving on to you. And then Holly, you're right after Lynn. Okay. Let's see. Let me cleanse a second, Lynn. Sorry, it's taking a second to light from my candle. I have a candle lit right here, and it has like the most beautiful herbs in it. Adair and Holly, you would love it. I'll have to send a picture of it to you. Okay. Sorry, I just felt like I really needed to cleanse my hands after all this energy work before doing another one. Okay, Lynn. We're going to your heart and your solar plexus. So your guides right now are bringing up messages of like questioning if you can do this, whatever this is. So I'm going to diffuse a lot of that what if doubt energy with the element of fire and Reiki. Hmm. So, Lynn, I think you were watching the whole thing. That breathing exercise that I did with the breathing in and then the brew basically after, you might want to do that a couple of times and throughout the day, not just right now. And really focus on your throat making that vibration so that you feel it all over your body, like especially in your heart and in your shoulders. Like when you can feel that vibration rippling through your body, you know you're releasing some good shit. Okay, and then Lynn, I've done this before. Um, okay, had to make sure I didn't have anything lit behind me. Put your arms up like this, and I can't do it because I'm gonna run to the chair, but going side to side is a beautiful heart opener, and it's like you're care bearing yourself and you're letting that energy out of your heart, okay? So then you can make room for more of that light, shining energy, especially for the summer solstice, obviously. Okay, Lynn, you're all good. Kelly, I love it. She said that it makes sense. She's been trying to smile more. You're welcome, Angie. I can't remember if I said that already. Okay, Holly. Okay. You're doing sun salutations. I love it. Yeah, care bearing for yourself. I just came up with that term and I love it. Okay. We're going to your sacral chakra, Holly. I'm going to be with Holly later today, so like I know you're going to be having fun later because I'm going to be there with you. But I'm going to send you some energy still. I'm just looking for my carnelian. There you are. Yolanda and I actually were just talking about this the other day, like randomly singing. I do that all the time. Okay, Nicole, you gotta stop talking. I have to get off at 11 for a phone call. All right. I'm putting some carnelian energetically into your sacral, like little etheric drops, Holly. Okay. And that's to help you activate more of your Empress. So remember, every chakra has a positive archetype and a negative archetype. The sacral is the martyr versus Empress, which I know you guys all know about this because I've like preached about this nonstop. But your cells, literally like the carnelian, is going in there and repairing your bodily cells, Holly, to help you to match and rise up to that Empress energy. Which I think is very interesting because the sun is obviously masculine. Okay, so today for you, Holly, it's very much about balancing your masculine and your feminine. All right, there you go, my dear. Okay. Oh, yeah. Holly said she hasn't been there for a while. It's always hard in throat. Joanna. Joanna, honey, did you see the whole thing? I made a super special announcement. So I was talking about how I know that a lot of people have been interested in doing the coaching package. Oh, hi, Diane. Yeah, I'll totally Reiki you. So, anyways, what I was saying is, a lot of people have been DMing me about the coaching package. So I have two spots right now that are half off. And again, they're only two. I've restructured it just a little bit. But please DM me if anybody's interested in taking one of those spots. They're probably going to go quite quickly. But let me know and I'll send you the link. Joanna, we're going to your heart and your throat. Already getting DMs. Can't see y'all. Oh, no worries. Sounds like a plan, Joanna. So, your heart is asking me to place the infinity symbol between your heart and your throat, Joanna. I'm trying to ask them why. Hold on. Okay. So sweet. Okay. They're, you, your higher self, your guides, the Reiki gods and goddesses. They're having your heart send Reiki up to your throat because your throat is just holding on to some old trauma where you didn't feel heard. So it's very much like, adult Joanna taking care of inner child Joanna. It's like that, how, you see her, you honor her. It's very much like that. But it's said that this time it's your heart chakra honoring your throat chakra and those times that you wanted to speak up but didn't, or maybe the times when you did speak up but you got punished for it, right? Or you got rejected. So your heart is sending massive energy to that throat chakra. Joanna, I know that you've been a part of membership, so you know all about the summer solstice ritual from the group. So don't forget to do that if you haven't yet already. I feel like you spending some time anointing yourself with that ritual and meditation will be really helpful for you today. Alrighty. Next one. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. She said, "Oh, thank you. I've been dealing with not feeling like I can speak up about frustrations recently. It's been weighing on me heavily." Girl, I swear I'll get to you guys in just a second. But I just snorted because I have to tell you guys. I'm usually an open book, right? The other day, John really irritated me. Like, was he doing anything other than breathing? No. Okay. But he was irritating me. So were my kids. So I got out my journal. John's next to me on the couch over here, and I'm over here. And man, let me just tell you. Oh, it was Father's Day. You all saw that post where he was like, "I want big CD." And I was like, "We have things for pasta sauce No, he wanted Big CD, and it's Father's Day. So I was trying to be nice and honor that it's Father's Day. 3 hours later, both Big CDs were done. Now, half of that is my fault because I don't eat meat. Like, I don't eat land animals. I eat dairy and fish, but I don't eat land animals. So, like, I didn't want the meat in mine. So I'd make two. So fine. It's kind of my fault. But I was irritated. So I was sitting there, Joanna, writing letters, 4, 5, 6 pages, like just of letters within 20 minutes. I felt so much better after that. I didn't even burn them. I just left them in there. You know, I usually like to burn them, but like my release was enough to just sit there and write everything down. And then last night I wrote 4. I've been letting some shit go. This summer solstice, guys. Okay, moving on. I'll put water out with like, yeah, yeah. Then it's just gonna be extra powerful, Joanna. I just got some red roses and some baby's breath to do it. Okay, scribbling madly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. John just kept like side-eyeing me, and I was like, why are you looking at me? Everything's fine over here. Okay. Carmel, honey, have you moved yet? Saw your Vince post the other day, which made me think you're prepping to go. Okay. Carmel, we're going straight to your solar plexus. Is that where I went yesterday for you or Monday? So we are infusing citrine here and the element of fire. Not yet, still packing. Okay, good. Then I can still see you. Okay. We're going to infuse citrine, like I said, in the element of fire in the solar plexus. It feels, excuse me, it feels like it's just for motivation and it feels like it's for just to help you keep going, you know, like just to like pick you up, dust you off and help you keep going, okay? All right, and then Archangel Michael also asked to come in and work on your heart chakra, Carmel. So he's going to use some of his dragons in your heart chakra first right now. So you might feel your chest warming up just a little bit. His dragons are working to clear heavier, denser energies that him and I necessarily can't get to because they're a different dimension. His dragons are. I'm not crazy, I promise. You all know I love my dragon healing. So same with what I told Lynn, Carmel, you might want to do that arm, not arm exercise. It's a yoga pose. Holly probably knows what it's called. Put your arms out and then you move side to side. I've done this for years. So you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you gotta move your chest out more like you're really showing us your, you know, your chest, okay? Keep it out and open and like let that heart open, that heart chakra open and shine as you're moving. Okay, now Archangel Michael is going in. Um, okay, so what he's doing is he is actually dissolving somewhat of a toxic cord, and it seems like it's a toxic cord between you and your mom. I don't know if your mom is still with us in the physical form. Also, I'm going to turn my phone off, do not disturb real quick because I have to wait for this phone call at 11. But anyways, whether she's here or not, there's still some type of energetic attachment that it feels like that's toxic and being a bit draining to your heart and to your emotions. So he cleared that. The cord is still going to be there in your heart, but he's making it whole and pure again, okay? All right. There you go, ma'am. Okay. And then who else was it? Was it you, Aunt Diane? I think is the last one. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Auntie. Okay, I'm sending you Reiki to your heart. We are, what do I want to use? Oh, okay. Hold on. Give me a second. I gotta find a crystal. Okay. We're gonna use my fancy little generator here. I think I have one more left in the office if anyone wants to buy it. It's $10. Um, this generator is gonna help clear some of that energy in your heart chakra, Aunt Diane. just to help it kind of diffuse out. So I believe this is that black tourmaline in the middle. And then the clear quartz is around it, and then the copper. What this is doing is funneling the energy up through that black crystal that's very protective and very cleansing. So it's funneling like the negative toxic energy out of your heart right now. The clear quartz is going around and amplifying healing. So it's amplifying the Reiki work. Okay. Whew. All right. Okay. I loves. Thank you so much for today. Next week, I do not think I'll be able to make it on Tuesday. I'm going to have to change it again. And then the week after that's July 4th. So I'll make some events later this week for next week and the week after so that we can kind of get that settled. Don't forget, I've got 2 spots left at half off. So please DM me. I do have a couple DMs that I can see right now. So DM me if you're interested. I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for spending an hour with me today. Bye.